Hey, good morning. I'm saying morning because it's still morning time. And one last topic for today, and hopefully everybody will think about it. Tons of conversation over the last few years about defunding the police, which I am absolutely against, by the way, because I think in a civil society you need rules and you need laws, and that helps everybody just live peacefully, right? And those that don't want to live by the laws and they want to create havoc for others, they should be not part of our society. Just that simple. Either part of it peacefully or you shouldn't be a part of it. And that goes for any community out there, right? So whether you're in Chicago, Baltimore, Cleveland, LA, Texas, it doesn't really matter, right? It always says on the side of the police, car, um, protect and serve the community, right? It doesn't say protect and serve the politicians. It says the community. So in that sense, I wonder, so a lot of people, right? They come out and they say, "Oh my gosh, there was," and I'm not saying right, wrong, different. What I'm saying is that if the majority, right, of the police departments are white, that doesn't reflect the population in which is being policed, right? Which automatically, I think, creates a little bit of an issue. So what I would love for people to do is, again, free thinkers, right? And rather than say police are bad, which is not true, right? There's some bad apples. There's always bad apples in the bunch. That's just how it works. But why wouldn't the Hispanic community, why wouldn't the black community, why wouldn't the white community? It doesn't matter. Everybody get together, right? And they say everybody wants to get along and all that good stuff, and that's great. But in a sense, we all tend to live, for the most part, where we feel most comfortable. Or for some people, kind of like where they're trapped in a sense, right? So you get Section 8 housing and all that kind of stuff, and which is just it's a god awful place to live. I know that because I've been around it. Um, so I guess in a free thinking sense, I would say everybody that could spread the word, everybody's hiring police officers. Everybody, every city across the country right now, and nobody wants to take the job. But I find it interesting. So rather than, like if you live in a housing community, right, Section 8 or anything like that, or it's subsidized, why wouldn't you want the people patrolling that area from that area, right? So then there is behaviors and values that line up. And so when I say that, all absolute power becomes corrupt, that's what happens when, so whether it's a union or whether it's a gang, right? So gangs got together, in the beginning to protect one another. And they called it a family, right? And it's the same way the mafia started, the same way the union started. It all starts good with good intention, turns horrifically bad because it gets corrupt and people get greedy and they get addicted to power, which is insane. So, why wouldn't everybody in their community look to their elders, which I always say, right? They pose the people that are oldest amongst us have the most life experience. You can't just get that, it doesn't happen by osmosis. So, why wouldn't you listen to the eldest in the community as advisors, not elected officials, and those advisors then ensure that they're overseeing the police departments that are policing the community in which you live. To me, that makes a lot of sense. So I think that if you're in the African American or if you're in the Latin or it really doesn't matter. I think wherever you live should reflect the policing that is occurring in the community in which you live. So I would really, really encourage, especially in the Latin community and in the African American community, if you are young and you believe in where you live, you want to be safe, you want to protect your elders, you want to protect your kids, you want to do all the right things, join the police department that surrounds the community in which you live, and then you can help protect, truly protect, right? The people in which you care most about, which is your community. I think people are missing that point, and you know what? It pays really good. Um, that's my message in the bottle to everybody. So it could happen anywhere in the world. I tell everybody, I'll state all the time, not tell, but you should always defend your sovereignty, right? And that sovereignty is whether it's your house, your ability to go shopping and walk on a sidewalk within the city or community you live in. That should all be safe havens for our children, for us, for our grandparents, for everybody. The only way I think that truly happens is when you govern yourselves, and part of that governance is law and order, which is also the police department, which is a good thing when it is represented by the community in which it governs, right, or polices. So I'd love to hear people's comments on that one. I truly think that I don't think we defund, I think we reform. And it's really that simple. But, when people don't want to step up in the Latin community, or people don't want to step up in the Black community or Asian community or anything else, they don't want to step into the police role for whatever reason, right? If you don't want to step up, then you can't complain about who does step up and goes into the policing role, right? So I would encourage a lot of parents to say, hey, you know what? We're going to change things, not only in our schools, we're not only going to change things in our local governments, we're going to change things in our police department. And you know what? The blue line is really, really important to hold society together. So encourage your kids that, you know what? Being a police officer is not a bad thing. Being a police officer is a good thing as long as it's protecting community in which you live. No matter where you live, right? So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about income. Doesn't matter about, if it's white, it's black, it's Latin. It doesn't matter. Join the police departments and protect yourselves. So I'm not saying, hey, let's go anarchists, because that's not what we want to do, or vigilantes, because that's crazy. We don't need the gangs, because they've gotten corrupt, obviously. We don't need unions because they're corrupt. You don't need a mafia because they're corrupt. The government is corrupt. So the only thing you can do is protect yourselves. I hope that helps everybody, and another one of those free thinking thoughts, right? Let's think outside the box. Let's not be told what we need to do, but how about we just free think, and then we encourage things, and we can get this turned around. We can change how we live as a society, as a community, and protect ourselves. It is the right thing to do. God bless. I hope you have a great day. And thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and any comments, always welcome. God bless.